Casablanca, a city of many faces, oriental yet also modern, from a former Berber settlement to today's commercial metropolis. Around 80% of Moroccan industry is concentrated in Casablanca. This city is the country's financial, technological and commercial centre. Africa's largest port is also situated here. The sea is close at hand, and so it may seem tempting to take a swim, but the Moroccans prefer to visit the city's beach clubs due to the unpredictable currents of the sea. Jutting into the ocean, this huge mosque seems to float between both land and water. Here there's no sound of busy traffic, only the ebb and flow of the Atlantic. It was he who created heaven and earth in 6 days. This paragraph from the Quran inspired Hassan II to build this momentous mosque. The entire area of the mosque extends for 9 hectares. This superlative construction could comfortably accommodate the entire St. Peter's in Rome. In contrast with most, the facade of this mosque is richly decorated with mosaics, but the abundant patterns are only visible at close quarters. The mosque also contains a madrasa, a library, a museum and a hammam, plus various modern conference facilities. Completed in 1993, 3,000 workers worked for 7 years on its construction. 25,000 pillars support the world's second largest mosque. A mosque's courtyard invariably contains a water basin. It's used for ceremonial cleaning prior to prayer. For more thorough cleansing, a steam bath known as a hammam is provided. New patterns have been created by the application of ancient techniques. These artistic mosaics demonstrate the precision and mastery of ancient tradition. The mosque contains 10,000 square meters of Maiolica mosaics. The various colorful geometric patterns are very striking. High walls are adorned with filigree cedarwood carvings. The elegant patterns of the wood and stone motifs appear as delicate as lace. The mosque complex contains 124 wells. Whether gently flowing or rising high in a fountain, water, in all its forms, plays a significant part in the life of the Arabian people. The dream of Hassan II to erect a monument as fine as the Qutubiyya in Marrakesh and the Hassan Tower in Rabat has been fully realized in this amazing structure. Most of the mosque's exquisite decor is based upon ancient tradition, yet it has a gigantic sliding glass roof that can be operated at the press of a button. This sacred building is 60 meters high, 200 meters long, and 100 meters wide. The mosque's vast square can accommodate a total of 80,000 of the city's faithful. Within an area of 25 square meters, a minaret towers 200 meters into the blue azure sky. From here, the muezzin calls the faithful to prayer. The largest of the three balls on top of the minaret has a diameter of almost 4 meters. They weigh a total of 3.7 tons. The minaret of the Hassan Mosque, with both its religious and political significance, is indelibly linked to the traditional epoch of the Almohades. The wealth of detail is breathtaking. There seems to be no end to the number of amazing images and remarkable design elements that the building offers at each and every turn. The prayer hall can accommodate 25,000. To avoid distraction, there is a separate area for the women. Everything here is simply magnificent. The mosque's crystal chandeliers were made at the famous glass factories at Murano. They sparkle and shine from high above. The huge entrance gates include star-shaped designs. Gigantic and impenetrable, they highlight the omnipotence of this incredible mosque. This is one of the few mosques that allows sightseeing. The entire hall shines out in divine brightness. Almost 60,000 square meters have been exquisitely decorated with stucco, carvings, and kaleidoscopic color. Here, everything that glisters truly is gold. Each object is either gold or has been gilded. The interior decor combines ancient tradition with the contemporary. This building that represents Allah's throne above the water signifies the endlessness of the land and the infinity of the sea. The small Marabout de Sidi Abderrahman is situated on a rocky promontory. Unusually, it can only be accessed at low tide. It's also noteworthy due to the fact that it contains the graves of several saints. Thus, each year, thousands of pilgrims flock here from all over the country. Shells and crabs are an important source of revenue. They are collected at low tide and offered for sale. The main stairways of the mosque are laid out with tiles in geometric patterns. In Morocco, it's an age-old tradition not to illustrate the natural forms. Life here is relatively simple. Practicality is the order of the day. Thick walls keep out the scorching heat. Casablanca is a large city with more than 3.5 million inhabitants. It is surrounded by many ancient villages. Here, life hasn't changed much since bygone times. Wide roads lead to Rabat and El Jadida. The calmness of Moroccan drivers is exceptional. Everything is conducted at a typically slow Oriental pace. The country's centuries-old tile art is also used for signs of all descriptions. And even the name of this large square is set in tiles. The Place Mohammed V is the center of Casablanca and is located between the old Medina and the new town with its large residential districts. The old cannon are reminders of this city's dramatic past. Well-arranged squares and green swathes are popular places to relax. As in many other cities in the world, people love to feed birds. Millions of people live here and are employed in every kind of work and profession. Today, it's difficult to believe that Casablanca was once a small town. Good music, playful water features, and nocturnal illumination. All these are featured in this entertaining 30-meter high fountain. in traditional colourful costumes are the famous water sellers. In Morocco's large cities, they are everywhere. Everyone goes about their business in a serene way. All is peaceful and there's no hustle or bustle. This huge city is unusually quiet. Several administrative buildings, mosques and Art Deco buildings are situated in the vicinity of the Place Mohammed, and there's also a pedestrian-only shopping mall. The head offices of numerous banks, insurance and commercial companies are located within the modern and flamboyant city centre, with its imposing skyscrapers. A modern city with tall apartment blocks, and the tiny stalls that are squeezed in between the city's houses add a rural touch. The city's rich reside in the impressive suburb of Anfa. Its splendid villas exude great wealth and exquisite taste. Beyond the gardens and high fences of this district, there are small palaces in neo-Moorish style. Strong defensive walls indicate a dramatic past. Throughout the centuries, this city was often subjected to attack. In 1575, the Portuguese built a fortified city here, today's Medina. It was given the name Casablanca, or White House. Following a disastrous earthquake in 1755, the Portuguese left the city. The mainly Spanish traders who remained changed the name of the city to Casablanca. At the Casablanca Conference in 1943, Roosevelt, Churchill and de Gaulle laid out the future terms of surrender for Nazi Germany. Narrow alleys, cafes and workshops reflect the city's everyday life, and there's a constant array of stalls and carts laden with fresh fruit and vegetables. The souks are crammed with all manner of produce and goods. They're an important element of daily life in Morocco, and bargaining and haggling are the norm. This is a place of constant activity. The souks contain a labyrinth of alleys, and each usually has its own speciality. This is the perfect place for those who wish to experience Moroccan daily life. The aromas and sounds in the narrow alleys of the souks are far more descriptive than any travel guide. Friday is Assembly Day. It's when the faithful meet for prayer in one of the numerous mosques. Most of the shops close during this time. Each and every ingredient of mouth-watering Moroccan cuisine can be purchased here. And if a hairdresser is required, no problem. And the dentist is just around the corner. On the west side of the Hassan II Mosque is the 65-metre tall El Hank Lighthouse. Adjoining it is a bathing and entertainment centre with both salt and freshwater swimming pools. Madrasas are the schools of the Islamic world. Many date back to the 13th and 14th centuries. This institute teaches Islam and classical education. They are impressive buildings, and from ground level to the roof, there's much attention to detail, with diverse decoration, patterns and colour. The building invariably conforms to the same design. There's an entrance hall that leads into a courtyard with a well, then a prayer room, and above it, the students' quarters. The madrasas accommodate anything from 50 to 100 or more students. During many years of study, they are taught theology and law. This city became famous due to the Hollywood movie of the same name, Casablanca. Yet not a single scene was filmed here. It starred Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman and has become a film classic. This patchwork city is divided into 8 distinct areas. Due to a large influx of people from outlying parts, the city's population is growing all the time, and the city limits are being extended accordingly. Typical of Morocco, the Casablancans are a tolerant community. Thus, in the evening, women frequently wear Western clothing, along with those who remain veiled. This glittering metropolis is full of pulsating life that combines both traditional and modern values. Islam's lighthouse is equipped with a laser that points towards Mecca and is visible from a distance of 30 kilometers. Casablanca captivates all those who come here. This former coastal city of seafarers and pirates is today both lively and contemporary, with all the atmosphere and flair of a bygone time.